Good morning and welcome to Table Talk with Brenda Perryman right here on TV 33, WHPR, and Comcast 90 in Detroit and Oakland County and so forth. I'd like to introduce you to my two co-hosts.
Good morning. My name is Cheryl Ajamu. I'm the owner of the Ajamu Group. We produce the Multicultural Media Luncheon during the Detroit Auto Show.
Good morning. Tamika Ashford, president for the Ashford Agency, a boutique PR firm.
Okay, first we want to show you, we have a special call in this morning, and we want to show you a little bit about Mr.
Keith Clickscales.
Can't wait.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. And we have a video that goes with that. It's on. Oh, we're going to come back live. We'll get the video up in just a few minutes, but we have Mr. Clickscale on the phone. And Cheryl, why don't you tell us a little about him?
Okay. Well, Keith Clickscales currently is the CEO of Revolt Media and TV, which is a music network owned by Sean Combs, or a lot of you know Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. But Mr. Clickscales has a very impressive career in media and entertainment. A lot of you have seen a lot of the programming that he's done. He was a former senior VP at ESPN, and he created the iconic 30 for 30 documentary series.
Excellent series.
Yeah, there's not
Excellent.
a person that doesn't know about that. And then a lot of people may not know that he actually was part of the founding management team of Vibe magazine back in the day with Quincy Jones. So and then there are tons of other things he's done. He's been the publisher of Vanguard Media, which was Savoy, Heart and Soul, and Honey. Everybody remembers those from the early 2000s.
I was in those magazines too.
Right. They were very popular. So he's been an executive. He's been an entrepreneur. He's a filmmaker. He's a really great guy as well, very humble. And he graduated from an HBCU, FAMU.
HBCU.
Even though I did not go there, but yeah, he's a graduate
And
from
then
FAMU.
he went on to Harvard.
Has an MBA from Harvard Business School. So he has a plethora of experience. He has done it all. He's seen it all. And he is willing to share and help people and give advice for people who are up and coming. And that's what I really like about him.
And he's going to be at your...
He is going to be the keynote speaker for the Multicultural Media Luncheon, which is Thursday, January 15th at the Westin Book Cadillac Hotel at 11 a.m.
Well, let's say hello to Keith. And Keith, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, just great. We are just great. And we have Tamika Ashford on the end, and we have Ms. Cheryl Ajamu, who you've known for quite a while. And we're so excited to talk to you this morning. I think, Tamika, you have a question for us.
Yes, good morning. Cheryl gave a little background, but can you tell us a little bit more about Revolt Media TV?
Revolt is a concept that really was espoused and put forth by Sean Combs, and it was his vision to go ahead and make sure that we had a way to have music back on television, and because music has kind of left television. The networks that played music before had started moving towards reality shows, and it was not a place for music people to go to make sure videos were getting played and make sure that we were really discussing music. So Sean and I go back many years, going back to my Vibe days, to the ascension of his career. So it was a wonderful thing to be able to work on this from the beginning, to be able to work with Comcast, who was able to go ahead and provide us with a foundation, and then we were able to get Time Warner to come in and really build a good, solid distribution base and be able to reach out and make it go. We launched the network on October 21st of this year, and we are now a little bit more than 1 year old, but going pretty strong.
Well, you used to be the senior vice president of ESPN, where you created the 30 for 30, and I have to congratulate you on that 30 for 30. It is excellent, and everybody here in Michigan were watching when the
Yes.
Pistons.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that was a point of conversation for so
Yeah, the
long.
bad boys. Yeah,
We thank
absolutely.
you so much for that, Keith, and especially the Adrian Dantley part. I mean, there was so much so good about that. What advice can you give up and coming filmmakers on creating content that resonates with audiences and investors?
I think the main thing is the main issue that I learned from working with the team and putting the 30 for 30 together was the power of a good story is is what you're trying to bring to life. There's a lot of people have access to folks, a lot of people have stories, but to be able to put those things together and execute them, that's what makes it work. I mean, the notion of the bad boys, or even the story we did on Michigan and the Fat Five.
Oh, that was excellent too.
A well told story, but we were able to get behind some of the real issues and also talk a lot about Detroit. I mean, there were two 30 for 30s that had a pretty good Detroit presence, and there you go. I think the main thing is just to have passion for the stories and work hard. And now the tools to be able to tell these stories, the technology is getting less and less expensive, so the ability to make this happen really works.
Right, right. I mean, and getting investors, that's another thing, to be interested in your stories, too. I mean, a lot of people are passionate, but then it starts to fall off at one point, too, when it comes to actually getting the execution going. Good ideas, but it drops off at execution. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
No, I agree, and I think the main thing is, I mean, ESPN deserves a lot of credit. That series was put together as a celebration of their 30th anniversary. The network was founded in 1979, so to be able to tell 30 stories that commemorated the launch of the network is what got it there. So there was, yes, I'm very proud to be a part of it, but there was a number of people involved in the origin and success of that. So but it's something I'll always be proud of.
Wow. Yeah, Tamika?
Well, you know, we're looking at your background. We know that you were part of the management team for Vibe magazine with Quincy Jones, and that certainly speaks volumes about you. What would you have to say about being a pioneer in this industry?
I mean, I think the thing you learn from working with people like Quincy is you really learn the power of history. You learn the power of understanding where you come from. You know, anytime you got a chance to talk with Quincy, you were dealing with living history, and you were dealing with you saw some of the things he went through. But what I didn't see in his stories, and all the stories he told me, I really never heard him talk about adversity. Not that adversity wasn't there, and not that the man ever had it easy, but he was so dedicated to his craft and so about the power of his work that it just kind of seemed to be a backstory to what ended up happening. And I think that is something that I see in a number of folks that have gone on to do well. Yes, there's challenges and there's adversity, especially being people of color, but that's not the foundation of what makes them. The ability to manage adversity and work right through it by paying attention to the excellence that you bring, paying attention to the power of the culture that we were fortunate enough to be able to work with. That's the lesson that you get every day.
Excellent, excellent.
Now, Keith, I want to just briefly, without giving everything away, I know that at the Multicultural Media Luncheon, your topic is going to be reinventing your brand. What can attendees who are going to be going to this event expect to learn from?
I'm having a little trouble hearing you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
This is Cheryl.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, it's Cheryl Ajamu. So,
How you doing?
Okay. So, I know that your topic for my event, the Multicultural Media Luncheon, is reinventing your brand. Without giving everything away, could you give us just a little sneak peek as to what you may talk about during your keynote address?
Well, I think what you have in today's world, you have a good amount of change, you know, and I began through Quincy and through my own entrepreneurial endeavors. I began working a lot in magazines, you know, and I was in magazines for most of my career, and people like Earl Graves and the late John Johnson and Ed Lewis and folks like that. They were my heroes from doing Essence and Black Enterprise and all those things. And even there out in Detroit, like Randy Payton and people who were doing publications, it's all these people I've been involved with. But as technology started to grow and as advertising started to expand and the power of the culture began to expand, I wanted to find a way into television. So I had to find a way to go ahead and continue to work from the foundation that I work with, but find a new medium to expand into. And I was able to do that by making films when I was at ESPN, and then I also got exposed to digital. I was exposed to some of the earliest changes in the internet, and all those things led me to where I am now. So the training I got from ESPN, the training I got from working on digital products, allowed me to kind of expand my career, but still take many of the lessons that I picked up at Vibe and places like that and carry them forth with me.
Great. Thank you. That was great. Thanks.
Well, we cannot wait to see you next month. And what's that date again, Cheryl?
Thursday, January 15th, 2015. We only have probably about 4 VIP tickets left. Everything else is gone. So we're just about at sellout capacity. But we're taking a waiting list, so I'm not sure how we're going to handle that just yet. But thank you again, Keith, for calling in. I know that you have an incredibly busy, packed schedule. And I also want to publicly thank you for agreeing to be the keynote speaker for my event as well. I really, really, really appreciate you.
And we can't wait to see you.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for having me this morning. And please make sure you come and get on that waiting list, because I know Cheryl will find a way. The one thing I know about Cheryl, she will find a way. That's the good part. So we'll make it. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to talk, and we'll get it going.
Right, okay. Absolutely. So thanks again, Keith, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Bye.
I cannot wait to hear what he has to say.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be very exciting.